like to welcome Paige Purvis to today's chat, and I think you'll really enjoy hearing all her amazing advice on how to help you through one of life's most stressful events, moving your home. Paige is
Mm.
a busy married mom to three beautiful children and has a background in the financial industry. As an integrative nutritional health coach, Paige's mission is to help you discover your own optimal path to radiant energy, mood, and wellness. Paige, hi, and welcome.
Hi, Arlene. Thank you. Thanks for having me to share with your audience today.
I love your approach to helping people, Paige, in that a one size program does not fit all, which rings true with my own personal experience. Could you please first tell us a bit about your transition from the financial industry to becoming a health coach?
Yes, sure. And you're completely right. We're all unique, bio-individual, and we have our own lifestyles that are unique and food preferences. And so you're right. It's not a one size fits all approach. Working as a banking VP while growing my family, my priorities began to shift. Plus, having children later in life, I began to pursue my own wellness journey. And on the way, I realized a few simple shifts had a ginormous impact on myself. And I became more well informed in the health and wellness space and decided to pursue a career as a health coach. And to do that, I did an integrative nutrition certification, and along the way, I just knew I had to kind of share with others and help motivated yet overwhelmed women do the same and really up level their health and wellness.
Well, I'm so glad you made that transition so that you're able to help so many of us with your expertise, Paige. If we look at what people go through during a major life change, which of course is very stressful, for instance, when I see clients moving homes that they've been living in for, say, 20 or 30 years, routines and good habits fly out the window, and in comes those bad habits that add to their stress. And let's face it, what I got away with 20 years ago, I simply can't now. What would you recommend to help people during those really stressful life events, such as downsizing your home? For example, when people are getting less restful sleep.
Yeah, I would definitely agree that sleep is your superpower and prioritizing it will significantly benefit you mentally, emotionally, your productivity as you're packing up those boxes, and just in general, guide you to make more positive choices. If your sleep is off, your hunger and satiety hormones are off, and you might just reach for the sugary kind of junky foods that really wouldn't be serving you during this challenging time. And while I can appreciate it's not the best time to add new habits, there are a few tweaks you could be doing. For instance, sleep quality, making sure you're either wearing blue light blocking glasses or cutting out the technology before bed will prevent those middle of the night wake ups with the thoughts that are racing.
Mhm.
um, in terms of caffeine and alcohol, the timing really impacts your sleep. So, caffeine, ideally, and while we said everyone is different, by 2 p.m. is a good general rule of thumb for kind of quitting the coffee or the black tea. Um, and alcohol, maybe in between drinks, having some water. And again, the timing of your alcohol, maybe cutting that out a few hours before sleep so it's not as impactful.
Mhm. All very good points. I know you've certainly helped me with some of my sleep problems, Paige, that have really helped me make a turn for the best. What would you recommend people do to combat the temptation to slip into those bad habits when it comes to drinking more alcohol or more coffee or eating more fast food during stressful times like moving?
Yeah, I mean, the fast food is a big one. Obviously, you just want to grab something without, having to wash dishes or do a big shop or, do all that food preparation. So I can appreciate the tendency for convenience food at this time. And I would say some of your smaller appliances might be your friends, like an air fryer or a blender where you can easily make a chia pudding or a shake. And you can make a few chia puddings so that, you have a delicious, satisfying snack when you realize, oh, I'm hungry because you're caught up in all the move prep. The air fryer, you can throw everything in there, including I did some boiled eggs in there yesterday, which worked out pretty well.
Mhm.
And, your veggies or whatever protein, it's all super easy, all in one spot. And it's pretty quick to wash afterwards. Other foods that might be great to have online if, in your pantry, if those are kind of your jam, are well caught tuna, some raw organic veggies, fruits, nuts, seaweed snacks are a good option. And it's also a great time to empty out whatever's in your freezer so you don't have to pack it up.
That's right. All good,
Yeah.
great recommendations to give you that little boost that you need when you're running low on energy. Now, for someone who has slipped back into some bad habits, what is the best way to transition out of it, Paige?
Well, I think the first recommendation would be to be gentle with yourself. This is a temporary, transitory time. And, there are some things that you could be doing. If you are reaching for that fast food, you could source some healthier takeout options. And, they're more readily available during this time with more restaurants offering takeout. And I would say focus on less inflammatory foods like free of sugar, processed oils. um, Another powerful tool is breath work. So
Mhm.
in a moment of temptation or overwhelm, when you want to reach for those crazy snacks, the breath work can help reset you to realize, oh, I'm just a little like anxious or kind of more emotional than usual. And it only takes a few minutes to reset. I think breath work can also be powerful if you aren't sleeping. So if you are waking up in the middle of the night, you could try a few cycles of 4-7-8 breathing, which is popularized by Andrew Weil. And you inhale for 4, hold it for 7, exhale for 8. And it really calms you so you're not in fight or flight mode, and also distracts you from those racing thoughts, and can also help you get back to sleep.
Mhm. I'm so glad you brought that up, Paige, because it's so simple and it's so effective. I've seen some clients in the past become completely paralyzed during their move. And
Mhm.
if someone is watching this video right now and they're in the middle of a stressful life change like moving, is there one thing that
Mhm.
they can do to help alleviate the overwhelm in the moment?
For sure. I would say, take an outdoor break. Even a walk around the block could probably lend some perspective that would be helpful. And, being aware of your anxious thoughts is the first step in calming yourself. Rather than kind of projecting negatively into the future, thoughts like, I'll never be ready on time, you could switch that to something like, oh, I love how on top of this I am. I'm so happy and thankful to be super organized and getting all packed up and transitioning into this new exciting chapter of my life. So,
Mhm.
really being aware of thoughts and then maybe trying to turn them on their heads would be helpful in kind of not being consumed during this process.
Yes, definitely. To congratulate yourself on how far you've come and not beat yourself up on what's not been done is definitely a great strategy during that sort of life change. Paige, I feel like clients come to
Exactly.
you. I feel like clients come to you because perhaps what they've been doing in the past hasn't been working for them, or maybe they've hit some sort of wall. How is your approach different from what clients have done in the past?
Um, so my approach is to really meet people where they're at. So we sit down, have an assessment, and go through their health history, look at their specific goals, whether it be change in body composition or reduce anxiety, reduce joint inflammation, um, boost their mood. And from there, we set up a schedule of one-on-one virtual meetings, and we I create a website for people so that they have kind of a guideline of foods and lifestyle changes and kind of show their progression throughout the process. Yeah, and from there, every kind of meeting, we readjust and realign on their way to happier life or less stress or losing weight, etc.
Wonderful. And I'm sure you can
I
get a
mean, I just wanted to add kind of a couple more tips
lot.
that I wrote down here that I forgot to mention. Um, in terms of your regular routines, they may fall off. For
Yeah.
instance, exercise is a big one. And, if you're used to structured workouts, I would say you could probably sneak in something that's more condensed, like a 7-minute workout or a shorter Pilates online or yoga. And I would say, you're probably doing a lot of movement anyway during this time, running errands, lifting things, packing boxes, etc. Um, so again, just be kind to yourself there and make some minor adjustments. And one other thing on sleep, if you feel your sleep has suffered, I recommend kind of recharging the next day with what's called a yoga nidra, or also known as dynamic sleep, where this 20-minute session with this very calm woman's voice walks you through a process that makes you feel like you've gotten a few hours of deep sleep. And my favorite one, if you want to try that out, is on bulletproof.com. And it is, you just search for yoga nidra, which is spelled Nidra. I just wanted to mention those couple of tools as well.
I'm so glad you spoke about the yoga nidra because you had recommended that to me and it is amazing. It's so restorative and I'm so glad that you've mentioned that to our audience here today. Paige, you've offered some really amazing insight to some very significant life challenges that people go through. So thank you so much. And if you've been inspired by Paige's message, you can check out her health blog, which is a wonderful resource on her website at www.radiantselfwellness.com. And if you'd like to work with Paige to help yourself achieve more energy, a better mood, and improved wellness, you can reach her through Instagram at Health Coach Paige. Thank you for taking the time, Paige, to chat. And hopefully next time we can do this in person.
Yes. Well, thank you, Arlene. You are such a gift to your audience. And I really feel like people need and appreciate the support when they're going through such a stressful period in their life. In addition to you, I think they would benefit from reaching out to their circle of friends and family. And even if people can't be there in person during the pandemic, you could set up a FaceTime or Zoom with you or with the rest of their support system, or just go for a walk with a friend and kind of share how you're feeling. I know people can suffer from decision fatigue as they're sorting through boxes, so even having someone friendly on the other side of the screen who can kind of help you during this struggle of, you know in some cases, getting rid of things that have been in your life for, as you said, 20, 30 years. So
Yeah.
thanks again for having me. And yes, I just really appreciate you. And I'm sure the rest of your audience base does as well.
Thank you so much, Paige.